Hi everybody, welcome to Valley View Homestead. I'm Megan. I'm a mum of 6 kids living in New South Wales, Australia. Join me on my day in the life. Today we make some meals, clean up the kitchen. I've got a little mini grocery haul in there for you, and we talk rain on the homestead. Good morning, welcome to Valley View Homestead. I've just walked into the kitchen and it is a bit of a bomb site. We've just had breakfast, and anytime you cook from scratch and serve 8 people, there is going to be mess left behind. So hang out with me while we clean the kitchen, and then I'm going to make some grain-free vanilla muffins, probably, maybe chocolate muffins, just for some morning tea for myself and my kids. So breakfast this morning was egg muffins. We've just beat up some eggs. It's kind of like a little mini quiche. Some eggs, some cheese, some herbs, salt, maybe a little milk. And then we just bake these in the oven for about 20 minutes. Really good, high protein, easy breakfast, easy to grab and eat. So this is just part of my normal daily routine here. Usually one of the older children will unstack the dishwasher and put everything away. I'll just sort of finish off all the kitchen work, putting things away where I know they go, wiping down the benches, stacking some of the dishwasher. Sometimes that's a child's job. Sometimes I'll just jump in and do it so that it's streamlined and the kitchen is staying as clean as possible and ready for the next meal to be made. And as you can see, I have these cats, which I do love, but they are very much in the kitten stage, and they are jumping all over every surface. They're always getting into everything in my house. So yeah, that spray bottle gets a real workout. So as you can see, I'm baby wearing today. This is my 1-year-old. Actually, she's closer to 2. She'll be 2 in just a few months here. And, we've had a cold in the house, as I've mentioned in the last video. And this baby just really wants to be close to her mum while I get these jobs done around the house. I actually have not used the baby carrier for so long. She's generally pretty happy to do her own thing while I'm getting these tasks done, or I've got another set of hands around to help me out. My older children can be a great help, and other family members, but today she really just wanted mum, so it's so much easier to just plop her in the carrier, get on with things. I think she actually fell asleep in this clip, so that makes everything much easier. Let's talk a little bit about support. I read recently something just floating around social media, and it said something along the lines of, do not compare yourself to somebody who has a support system. I think that this is vital for mothers to recognise, that we just cannot achieve the same level of things in each day, whether that is actual productivity around meals, around homeschooling, around getting our kids off to school, laundry, staying on top of chores, whether it's self-care, things like going to the gym, going for a long walk, having a workout at home, things like food, gardening, caring for livestock, even just having pets, staying on top of your house. These things are so much more difficult if you do not have a support system in place. Now, I've lived in both ways, just being at home with no support all the time and young children, and the things I got done in the day and the way that my house looked was totally different to now, where I have an age span of young children through to teens. That support can just not be underestimated. And by that support, I just mean older children don't need the level of help that younger children do, and they can actually do chores and contribute to the house in a child-friendly fashion. Now, you might have just noticed me filling up a bowl with milk that was actually old granola that was rejected by my kids, so they did not enjoy the taste, which is fine. It's just one I purchased. And I'm actually using that now to feed to my chickens in the morning. So I soak it in milk because they are currently going through their molting process, growing their new feathers, which means nobody's laying eggs right now, but it also means that they need lots of protein in their daily diet just so they can stay healthy and get ready for that new egg laying season. Now I'm just getting ready to make these muffins for morning tea. This is kind of an easy, quick pick-me-up, for those days where you just need a little more energy. You want something that's tasty and maybe a bit sweet, but is not going to cause you problems with insulin resistance or giving you a sugar rush and making you feel unwell. So I like to experiment with recipes. This is one I've just made up, and I will include the details, the recipe for you below in the description. But they are maple syrup vanilla muffins, and they are grain-free. You can use whatever quality of almond meal and cassava flour you can find and afford. And what else have we got in there? Just pure maple syrup, butter, 1 egg. So these are not super expensive, really. A little goes a long way. One of these is quite filling, quite sweet, makes you feel like you've had a little treat that is actually really high in protein and not a bad choice at all, especially if you choose to slather it in butter the way that I always do. So how are you? Did you have a good Easter? Where are you watching from? Please feel free to leave me comments. I would love to get to know you. I've really enjoyed watching homemaker videos and other kind of videos from all across the world. Day in the life, I just find it all so fascinating. So I'm really open to having a chat and getting to know you. So talking of Easter, I found the Easter egg selection in the shops here in Australia pretty lackluster this year, a bit uninspiring. I know in past years they've had a good selection of sort of quote-unquote alternative Easter eggs, so maybe low sugar or organic Easter eggs, things like that. But this year I had to buy it all online. I could not find anything that would be sort of health-giving or low inflammatory. And don't get me wrong, we do eat sugar now and then. It's just that we've been eating a lot of sugar in the start of this year already, and I can see the effects on my kids and myself. So whenever I can, I'd like to just sort of nip that in the bud, just say, okay, no more. And for me, it just works to go cold turkey. So the Easter eggs that we went with this year were Panna Organic, which we just bought online. They had a really nice selection of different flavors, and I just bought one of those for my kids. And then we also go with the carob kitchen, carob eggs, which are pretty fantastic. They're literally just carob. I think they've got milk powder, maybe, and vanilla flavor. So they are cocoa free. They don't have any caffeine. They don't have any sugar. They're just an all-round good choice. Now you'll see me here still spreading flour around my entire kitchen, despite having been a home baker for my family for maybe 15 years now. I'm still doing things like having flour explosions. So if you are starting out on your homemaking journey, make sure you're going easy on yourself, being kind to yourself when things like this happen, because they'll always happen. And just try to have that smile about it, that laugh about it. It doesn't matter. You know, our kitchens are never going to be pristine. They're never going to look like show kitchens if we're truly using them as a working space where we are producing nourishing meals for our family multiple times a day. Just let those expectations go and just enjoy your kitchen as is. So I just baked these like any standard muffin. They were baked at about 180 degrees for 20 minutes, and I think they were ready right on time there. It is surprising how well maple syrup works as a replacement to sugar, considering obviously it's a liquid, but it really worked well in this recipe. These had a nice crumb, they were light and fluffy. They were not overly sweet, but were enjoyable as a treat. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I will be keeping this recipe for future days. I'm definitely not grain-free. We do not have a grain-free house. We do use wheat flour, but I prefer to use it, and I find a better result in myself and my children when the flour is properly soaked and fermented. So by that I mean as in sourdough. You can also home ferment your flour to use in baked goods or goods like pancakes and things like that. But at the moment, I do not have a grain mill. I am not freshly grinding my flour. It is flour from the shops or flour from bought bulk online. And if I use wheat flour in these baked goods, I don't know, it's a bit heavy in the stomach. It feels not as nourishing and light as these muffins do, despite the fact these are higher protein. They actually just feel like they're absorbed and digested better. So if I can make an easy swap like this, I do. But if we're wanting a really good result for something like a birthday cake or something like that, I just go for it and go for the wheat flour from the shops. No problem. So while the muffins bake, I'm just going to take a few minutes here. The baby is asleep. And I'm going to sit down and just do a little bit of banking on my phone while I wait for those to cook. I've got kids eagerly awaiting morning tea, so they're just a few minutes away, and then I will be able to feed the masses. Nothing like the sound of rainwater in that downpipe. To me, that is security. That is showers, dishwasher. We don't actually drink the rainwater here. We do get spring water delivered. There's some reasoning behind that I can touch on another time. But this is, yeah, showers, cleaning, washing, laundry, all those things that we need. So here I've got a little grocery mini haul. A member of the family went out and asked if I needed anything picked up. So I gave them a little list, and we've just got some locally grown beans there. I've also got a kitten constantly going through my things in the kitchen. So I needed 2 cartons of eggs. It's been very hard to buy eggs here. I imagine that is, like, it seems to be pretty common around the world at the moment. So yes, I asked them to get some eggs there and just a few loaves of sourdough bread. I've just had a request for some fruit salad. I think I might make this as kind of a lunchy thing because we had those pretty high protein muffins for morning tea. I'll make some fruit salad. I've got that fresh bread from the shop, so if anybody is hungry after that, we'll just have sandwiches. Super simple, easy lunch. I've just pulled out what we've got from the fridge. I think we have apples, oranges, a few grapes left over. I can see a pear there, but I don't know if it's ripe yet, and a pineapple I'm going to cut up. It's been sitting on my bench for at least a week. We'll cut that up and we'll see if it's ready to go. So this was really refreshing and enjoyable once I'd gotten all the chopping and mixing done. We have just had house shopping day recently, so I tend to do a big shop every 2 weeks, and I will get delivery from Woolworths and a delivery from Coles. So if you order over a certain amount here, the delivery is free, and I always order over that amount because I'm feeding so many people. So our grocery bill is just over that amount, and I really appreciate grocery delivery. It is a life changer, honestly, when you've got multiple young children, or you've just got whatever circumstances at home make it hard for you to spend your time out shopping in person. I am not one who particularly enjoys that. It does feel like a job to me. So for me to outsource that job so I can spend my time at home doing other things that are a higher priority for me, I love it. So anything I can get delivered, I do get delivered. And we'll have that big shop once a fortnight. And then on the off week, I might have to get a smaller fill-in shop delivered as well, or I might go down to a local shop here to pick some things up. But that is more expensive. Now, I had just gotten our groceries delivered yesterday or the day before when I was filming this. So we had plenty of fresh fruit available, which is a good thing, right? Especially when the kids are not feeling well. We don't always have this amount of fresh fruit to hand. It's just too hard to keep it in the house all the time. But we do have bananas. We try to have bananas and apples available all the time, just so that's an easy snack for somebody to grab. And it's such a health-giving food. Like, we underrate fruit. Fruit is delicious. Fruit is easy. The only thing difficult with fruit at the moment is the expense. Like, fruit can be expensive, but on the other hand, all good value, like nutrient-dense food is expensive. And that's just something I've had to face when looking at my household budgets, is the household expense of food is high. But I look at it as insurance for our health. We don't buy health insurance. It's just too expensive. And I know our system here in Australia is probably very different to systems overseas, but we do have, I guess it's called like globalized healthcare or something, socialized healthcare, and it's called Medicare here. But every Australian is entitled to that. So if you have any kind of emergency that needs attention through the hospital, you can present at any hospital anytime, and those bills are covered. That's free. So if you need to see a doctor, depending on your personal circumstances, there may be a cost, or it may be completely free as well. But here I am just rambling on. What's this got to do with fruit? Well, the fruit is my health insurance, okay? So my fingers are crossed here, and I'm eating fruit. As I'm watching myself back cut up this orange, I'm thinking there has got to be a better way to segment oranges than the way that I am doing it. I know there must be a plethora of YouTube videos that will teach me how to cut an orange properly. So I might put that on my personal to-do list and just upskill a bit there. I feel like I'm wasting way too much of that orange. Personal skills, personal goals, right? Let's just keep reaching for the sky. So I just want to thank you for watching today, keeping me company today as I go about my daily life as a homemaker. I am new to YouTube. I am enjoying this. It's a wonderful creative outlet. I'm hoping it's a great way to connect with others as well. So yeah, thanks for being here. Please, if you do like this kind of content, feel free to like or comment or subscribe to my channel, and that will help me to keep making more content and connect with you. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.